I just stubbed my toe on the desk. Not the best of starts, is it? Ow, probably should put some shoes on. It's my own fault. Anyway, hi, I'm Erica. Welcome back to the Old Crew Code channel. And yeah, I want to talk to you about taking holidays or vacays, wherever you're from. If you've shouted at a fender, cried in the laundry room, forgotten what day it is again. Is it burnout? Is it boat brain? Or is it just time for a holiday? So yeah, let's get into this one. This is an Onboard article I wrote in 2021. It's another one of my story time styles. So yeah, get comfy and let's get into it, shall we? Oh, my toe hurts. Once upon a time, in a land far, far away, full of unicorns and rainbows, London, in the early 2000s, I was young and full of hope and fueled by ambition. Like many people in my early 20s, I was embarking upon a career and I wanted to be the best I could possibly be. On top of my full-time job, I studied part-time, I volunteered for all the crap duties, and I worked harder than everyone in an effort to prove my worthiness. I wanted to be called up out of hours or over a weekend. Bizarrely, that made me feel validated, needed, and important. I was thrilled to be given a work mobile phone and would stare at it, willing it to ring with a problem so I could roll my eyes dramatically at being in demand, whilst secretly adoring every second. Meeting up with friends after work always included the discussion about who's working the longest hours, and the longer they were, the more bragging rights you seemed to have. Corporate jobs have, over the past few years, and especially due to COVID, finally recognised that this way of overworking is totally unhealthy, leads to burnout and miserable staff, and increases your employee turnover. So many companies have made steps to ensure a better working environment for their team. Working from home is now most definitely a thing for those who can and want to. It's not for everyone. And finally, meetings for meeting's sake have been reduced thanks to Zoom calls or even just a group email. Thank God there's nothing worse. Over in the commercial maritime sector, with the exception of emergency situations, crew work shift patterns adhere to their hours of rest and get rotated on and off their vessels to avoid burnout, exhaustion, and the inevitable mistakes that operating at less than 100% usually results in. Meanwhile, in yachting, hours are, for the most part, still crazy, and many crew love to tell everyone they haven't had a day off since last year. We've been so busy, just back-to-back charters. I haven't had a full night's sleep in months, but the tips are worth it, they declare, with eye bags so prevalent they'd be charged excess baggage at the airport. And the longer this goes on, the more proud we seem to be of ourselves for completely ignoring the fact we're exhausted, fed up, burnt out, and let's face it, about to get horribly sick the moment we do get some time off. So why have we bred this culture of overworking? Why do we praise it? Why are we happy to be taken advantage of? And why are we so adamant that it's something to be smug about? It seems we're guilty of equating longer hours with achievement. We're giving ourselves purpose, and possibly working ourselves into an early grave. Well, it doesn't help with the big guns of the world bragging about this work ethic. Elon Musk said nobody ever changed the world on 40 hours a week, and went on to state that 80 hours was a sustainable number. He reportedly works up to 120 hours a week. When does he sleep? Apple boss Tim Cook is a notorious workaholic and starts sending work emails out at 4 a.m, and regularly runs 5-hour meetings. Good grief. I hope he supplies coffee and donuts by the bucket load. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Amazon's Jeff Bezos claims to have a great work-life balance, getting 8 hours sleep a night, having breakfast with his family, and never sets his alarm clock. Which sounds lovely, but then what about his employees? Amazon's been in the news repeatedly over the past several years due to staff being pushed into working overtime, whether they like it or not, being expected to answer work calls throughout the night, and working so hard in the warehouses to meet ridiculous targets, they've had to pee into bottles to avoid losing time in bathrooms. Look online and you'll see that overworking not only increases mental health problems, anxiety, depression, even suicide. Harvard carried out studies. Oh, should I start again? All right. I'm going to leave that, yeah. Harvard carried out a study and found that working overly long hours increases the risks for type 2 diabetes and, even more worryingly, heart attack and stroke. Cheerful reading, eh? So, Harvard. So what can we do to better look after ourselves during the season? We all know the drill. When it's busy, it's hella busy, and self-care can take a huge backseat. That being said, don't forget that self-care can just be having a nice hot shower and sleeping 8 hours. If you can't be bothered to do some yoga, go for a run, a swim, etc., that's okay. Watch some Netflix, read a book, call a friend, WhatsApp your mum, have a nap. Don't make self-care as competitive as the hours you work. Again, crew compare themselves to others constantly on social media. And when they see one of their Instagram friends, I'd rather say connections, because are they really your friends in the actual sense? Claiming they just took some me time to meditate and clear my mind, whilst getting someone to take a photo of them on the bow looking serene at sunset. Start to feel guilty that when they finally got a few hours off, they jerked off and watched Game of Thrones. Maybe simultaneously, I'm not judging. Self-care is self-care, my dudes. You do you, literally, if you want. And when the season is over, make sure you take a proper break. For the love of God, take your holidays. Don't be a hero, because if you drop down with exhaustion and are forced to take time off during a crossing or when the boss is on, nobody's going to thank you for it. Least of all your body. It's not big and it's not clever, so go on, take that bloody leave. Do not book in courses which will consume all of your leave days. Try to negotiate some unpaid leave if the yacht won't pay for you doing your courses. Make sure you have some time away for yourself, away from yachting entirely. An engineer told me a couple of weeks ago he'd only taken 16 days of leave in the past year and cited a range of excuses, but seriously, come on. Take a week off. Go sit in a spa if you can't get home for whatever reason. Hike up a mountain. Do nothing but recharge, and your quality of work upon your return will skyrocket. Haven't you noticed how your productivity goes down the toilet when you're tired? Work stops being fun. Even the smallest things can tip you over the edge when you're worn out. And yes, that does explain why the stew was in tears when she overflowed the salt shaker yesterday, and why the captain locked himself in the bridge and refused to open the door for half an hour. Sometimes we just can't even. And that's okay. It's just important we recognise that and put plans into place to keep us going. Book your time off and get planning so you have things to look forward to. Then you'll be surprised how more often than not you're actually excited to return to work and get cracking in the madness once again. And if you're not, well, that's when you need to make some changes. But that's a topic for another day. Now stay well out there. I hope you enjoyed that one. I'm actually recording this and I'm going on holiday very, very soon. So this is me right now, frazzled. But yeah, really excited to take a nice little break. So tell me about your holiday plans. Yeah, go on, drop them in the comments below. See you soon. See you for the next one.